Unfortunate.
Yeah, so I mean, at least they got the stock off the team at the same time, but still, bro, that's probably not the way that you wanted to go out.
Yeah, they got their lead. You know, they still pushed a lead. You know, they still pushed a
Alrighty. What the fuck is my keyboard? The hell? Oh, today's chat is gonna be at least. Hold on, I'm gonna close the plan. Hold on, disconnect.
Online.
That's my glizzy.
Training.
Bro, I don't know what the hell, I'm just so dumb. I'm so dumb at this picking shit. I don't get why this game is just so hard to play.
Volkov.
It feels like I'm good at some things, but honestly, chat, I don't. No, by the way, I'm not using a second monitor to chat. I'm using my phone, so I can't really see chat on the PC just by itself. I can just see it. Now, honestly. Volkov is like probably the strongest one out of basically. But Jay, hold on, Axe is a really good weapon. I'm gonna say Axe is like probably like one of the hardest weapons to use. Not hardest weapon, but one of the overpowered weapons. Like one of the most overpowered weapons in the entire game. Plus, really like. Just playing Brawl in general is just. That's why technically I just use a lot of can legends. I don't. I'm probably gonna be using again. Isaiah, like everyone hates Isaiah for some reason. He's a good legend. Like, he's like probably like, in my opinion, top 3 best legends that are canon. That at least are canon. They're at least canon legends. So yeah. Like OJ, he has a lot of force. Just for like 5 damage. For only 5, he has a lot of damage. For some reason, he has a lot of damage more than Zol with 9. Well, out of 10. But to be honest, it's really hard to know which is the best
Diana
for each character, or at least for me. For me, I would guess Diana, Onyx. Scarlet and Zol are like probably the best ones I have. But like I don't have Zol. I don't the character, but like honestly, okay, he's strong as fuck. He's as strong as a character. He's just strong. It's pretty hard to chase dodge a lot. It's pretty hard to chase dodge at times. No, I'm gonna tell Affleck if he's live right now. Oh, he's not even live. He's just like, pretty sure he's live. No, he's not. It's pretty. I felt like it was like 10 o'clock or something like that because usually he's up at 10 o'clock. And I thought it was Saturday or Sunday, whatever you want to call it. So I sent this video on TikTok that I found, which actually really was really cool, really funny. Who's this video?
You have to go to the doctors.
The funniest. It's so funny though. I'm just trying to call him. I don't know why I can't hear the sound of the call, but I don't know why either. I can still talk to people on Discord, but it's just like getting the call sound. I'm not sure if that's a some kind of bug with it. Try to call him again. Come on, let's look into the Discord call. Yo, you there? Yo.
I was watching fucking Uncle Dane.
Oh. You see the video I sent you?
Huh?
I sent you a video earlier.
I didn't see it because I was asleep.
Oh.
But you want to play TF2 later today?
Sure. Right now, I'm actually playing Brawl like freaking
Guess what
right
I'm
now.
getting today, probably.
Huh?
Guess what I'm getting today?
What?
The Engineer Starter Pack.
Okay, cool.
You know how hyped I am for that?
I'm honestly kind of. I don't honestly care for pretty little bit, but hold on. I sent you. I sent you a video on Discord.
You have to go to.
hype for that pack.
Oh, I only have the Scout starter pack.
You realize once I get the Engineer Starter Pack, guess what's happening?
What?
I'll be able to use voice chat.
Yeah, for some reason I bought the Scout starter pack, but for some reason I can't know how to talk in the game. Like crazy voice. Alright.
I changed my shit.
Hold on, do you want to my stream real quick? My freaking last stream real quick?
Remember, I can't get on electronics this way.
No, on your phone.
I'll look for it later.
You can actually talk to me on your phone while you're actually watching the video, you know that?
I'm talking to you on my iPad.
Oh, you're on your iPad.
My iPad and phone have Discord.
Oh.
Currently just working on my phone. My picture.
Alright, now I'm talking about combos with Diana, as I usually do.
Dude, I'm honestly excited to play TF2. And guess what? I got like a 32 kill game last night.
Nice.
And I even got some video proof of it. That was only an 8-minute recording because I started it mid-game. I just wanted a video proof of me dominating and that happened.
That's cool. I'm not sure why I never get subscribers at all. I never
Dude,
get subscribers at all.
I think you should play some TF2 with me later today.
Online.
After I get the Engineer Starter Pack. Guess what I'm getting with the Engineer Starter Pack?
Taunt? Or...
Like,
A taunt or what?
I'm getting the Engineer Starter Pack later today.
I know.
And this is what I get out of it. A Panic Attack, which is a shotgun.
Okay.
Rescue Ranger.
Which
how
is
the rescue...
the...
You want me to explain how the Rescue Ranger works?
I guess.
It fires bolts and it can heal your building.
On it.
Yeah, it will take some metal, but it's cheaper than thing with the bank.
Well, I'm gonna share my screen real quick. I'm gonna share my screen real quick.
Okay? I don't think that works on iPad though.
Can you watch it though?
3, 2, 1, brawl!
Can you hear it in the background?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Sorry.
Huh?
It's my box talk with you. Also, I have 9 days till school starts. Okay?
Alright.
So basically, in 9 days, I can only play on the weekend. Really don't suck, but whatever.
Yeah. Asshole. You absolute asshole. Ah! I just died to this bitch.
I always close.
Yeah.
Can I just wait till you later?
Yeah.
Honestly, my next stream is very important. That's fine.
Yeah. Hold on. What time though? What time?
What time? Around 3:30.
Hold on, 3:30 your time?
Yeah.
4:40 my time.
Wait, what?
I said 4:40 my time. 4:30 my time.
Yeah, I might do that instead of streaming today. And I'll just make a video about it. I can't wait to get the recover back.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to show you some weapons in tier 2 that are really handy. And honestly, you should buy the engineer's better pack yourself. Only costs $2.99.
I can't.
Player 2 wins.
I have no fucking money. Honestly, I have no damn money.
Oh, sorry.
I'm broke. Okay, I'm gonna use random money. Okay,
Random.
I'm using random. Oh, okay. That's okay. This he is really good. The axe and lance is just so good. Touch my glizzy. Touch my glizzy is the funniest part.
3, 2, 1, brawl.
Hey, wait, what do you think of random crits?
Huh?
What do you think of random crits on Fortnite? Not Fortnite, TFT.
I have no clue, honestly.
Honestly, I just buy them.
Let's go.
You know why I don't like them?
Why?
They're random and they just are overpowered. Kind of bit, like, it feels amazing to get a random death, but
I know, but kind of like, it kind of gets an idea a little bit. It kind of gets it though.
well, no, I'm gonna send you a video link.
Come on, buddy. Ew! I heard that.
I'm gonna send you a video link on Discord.
What a bot. What an actual bot. Okay. if I had moved there, I bet you could the hit there on him. Sweated the bubble from me.
Okay, I'm back in. Sorry, I'm sending you two video links.
It's fine, it's fine.
It's the dog one and the
Okay,
other
buddy.
thing is, well, tell you
Player
something?
1
Yeah.
wins.
So the video links I sent you are from the same channel called Uncle Dane. Can I tell you something about Uncle Dane?
Sure.
He's literally the best engineer in the world.
I let you play like that, honestly, OJ. Like, I think.
Not the best engineer class.
I mean, player, right?
Engineer class player, yes.
Alright.
Like, literally, he's the one that taught me how to play
Okay.
with engineer.
Okay, should I, watch the first one or, the second one first?
Andrew, you gotta understand. Which one you should watch versus Teleporter Electricity?
Okay, fine.
You know why that one first?
Yeah, I am right now.
You know why I'm...
Have you been hurt in a car accident?
Ads! Ads!
You know why I'm
You need a
telling you
lawyer?
to watch that one first?
Yeah, I am.
No, do you know why I'm telling you to?
No.
It's one simple reason. It teaches you how to use a teleporter correctly.
Okay.
Lives and teleporters
Something-
win games.
Like, useless time, it's honestly kind of useful.
I like how. Hold on. This is in 2017. The game looks much different now.
Yeah, but no, it still applies to the same rules.
Yeah, I know.
Guide on how to be polite, be efficient, and not be a fucking douchebag who steals
Don't be a fucking douchebag. That's funny.
Yeah, I'll hang up the call until you're finished with the thing.
Alright.
teleporter entrances as a friendly reminder of who should be the first in line to stand on the entrance when there are multiple classes waiting to use it. However, while this guide is pretty close to accurate, I actually think that there are some things that could be changed about it depending on the level of the teleporter. Now, if you didn't already know, there are 3 levels that a teleporter can be, just like every other building, and increasing a level also increases its health. But the other stat that gets upgraded from level to level is the recharge time. A level 1 teleporter recharges in 10 seconds, a level 2 teleporter recharges in 5 seconds, and a level 3 teleporter recharges in 3 seconds. So how does this come into play with teleporter priority? Well, I'd say that this basic guide certainly applies to a level 1 teleporter because 10 seconds is a pretty long time to be waiting, and a scout can just easily run to the front lines in that amount of time. But if the teleporter is level 2 or 3, I'd say the following extra conditions come into play. If you're a scout and there's no one else waiting to use the teleporter, or if anyone is spawning in the next 5 seconds, which you can easily check at the very top of your HUD, feel free to take the teleporter. Sure, a scout can run to the front lines pretty quickly, but taking a teleporter is always going to be faster. It's only unacceptable to use a teleporter as scout when there's other people who are needing to use it. So what if you're a scout and there's a level 1 teleporter that no one is using? Well, the obvious answer is don't use it, because unless no one on your team is currently dead, someone is probably going to be spawning in the next 10 seconds. But if you see a level 1 teleporter just sitting there outside of spawn, no matter what class you're playing as, the true answer is temporarily just switch to engineer and upgrade it. This simple thing literally takes no more than 15 seconds to do, and not only will you be more likely to use it the next time you spawn because it's now level 3, your team and your engineer will thank you for it. And don't forget to say thanks in chat. NG's politeness and teamwork go a long way. Always reciprocate helpful gestures when you see them. The second thing to talk about regarding teleporters is how to actually use them. I mean, it sounds silly enough to say, because I thought maybe the concept of standing on a glowing circle would be pretty straightforward, but of course, there are a lot of people out there who just don't understand how complicated that can be sometimes. Notice that there are multiple people standing on this level 3 teleporter, and yet none of them are actually going through it. Well, that's because the teleporter is pretty finicky and often refuses to let you use it while you're moving. These gentlemen in particular are not only being assholes because they're obviously trying to shove each other off the teleporter, but as a result, they're just wasting everybody's time. The teleporter will often not do anything if there are multiple people standing on it at the same time because of how player collision works by default. So, you know, instead of everyone clamoring over the teleporter for 10 seconds, causing the thing to simply refuse to take anyone through it to the exit, how about we all just do the civilized thing here and fucking get in line, you butthole! Queuing for the teleporter is not only what people who aren't Neanderthals do because it's polite, it's way more efficient, it's way more reliable, it's way faster. Every time I see people do this, it's upsetting because every one of these people could have already gone through this teleporter if they just got in a single file line in front of the entrance and stepped on the glowing circle one at a time. Don't do this. It's stupid. And the last thing to talk about, as engineer, please don't put a teleporter near a dispenser if you can avoid it. If a spy uses the teleporter and someone is standing on the exit, that person will get telefragged, which basically means they'll die in one of the top 5 most embarrassing ways in TF2, and they'll totally have full right to blame you since they were only trying to use a dispenser. So just spread that stuff out.
Disclaimer, standing on a teleporter exit in general is pretty risky, but as far as taking risks go, standing on a teleporter exit with your back against a wall is statistically less risky than standing next to a teleporter exit with your back exposed. It's a lot more likely that a spy will try and backstab you while you upgrade your teleporter exit than it is that a spy will randomly decide to use your teleporter entrance. Might as well protect your back at all times instead of being paranoid that a spy will come through your teleporter in the short amount of time that you happen to be standing on it. However, if a spy is sapping the entrance, don't stand on the exit as you unsap it, because you could get telefragged pretty easily doing that. Stand next to it while you remove the sapper and be prepared to shoot whoever comes through it next in the face. This has been a video about teleporter etiquette. Next up, we have Dapper Dog's classic #1 hit, Frontier Justice. Take it away, Dapper Dog.
Okay. Time for a second video.
Control of your clean is finally in your hands with the all-new iRobot Home app. Go straight.
Dispenser going up. Well, guess that's...
Randomness has been a core part of game design since forever. From rolling dice to drawing a card, having a certain amount of random chance involved often has the effect of making games that much more exciting. But when it comes to PvP games, introducing random elements can easily become a slippery slope towards imbalance and blurs the line between what is fun and what is fair. I believe it is possible to strike a balance here. You can create a system where the player doesn't feel cheated out of something when they lose, or you can just base your entire game around random chance and then have a pre-existing expectation to occasionally lose to getting unlucky. But when you have this middle ground where random chance elements conflict with a clearer focus on mechanical skill, it becomes misleading, confusing, and just downright ridiculous. And this is exactly how I would describe a decade-long mechanic in TF2 called random critical hits. Misleading, confusing, ridiculous. Now, as many others have in the past, there are a lot of different ways that you can approach this topic. I'm certainly not the first person to call into question the merits of the existence of random crits in TF2 before, and I could just sit here and rant about how they're not fair, how they're not balanced, and just talk about how much I despise them. But I intend to approach this long overdue dissertation on why random crits should be removed from TF2 by approaching it from the opposite side of my own. So, I've been a hardcore participant of the TF2 community for over 5 years now. Up until now, I've read just about every random crits discussion on Reddit, Steam, Discord, Facepunch, and the in-game chat that could ever exist. I've seen countless polls participated in by every sub-community in the TF2 community sphere, including my own nieces and nephews right here on YouTube. As you can see, the obvious answer is never quite clear, but by now I think I have heard it all. In order to formulate my argument against random crits in TF2, I'm going to represent a hypothetical debate with this picture of a scout, who will represent the most common reasons people have for keeping random crits in the game. Now, you might think that I'm just going to present all of the worst arguments and leave out the ones that are actually decent in order to make my own opinions look better, but don't worry. As an ambassador of true fairness, I am not going to do that. In fact, let's start this debate with a point that I actually don't have any disagreements with.
Scout behind you.
Oh my god. It feels awesome to get a random crit.
Right out the gate, I think this is hands down the best case for random crits, but it's an unfortunate case because while I believe that there is a truth to the observation that most people can get a certain amount of pleasure from scoring a kill that they know they didn't deserve or clutching an unfortunate situation with a stroke of luck, you have to keep in mind that this is also the only good argument for random crits that is completely subjective. But basically, yeah, getting a random crit feels awesome. Slamming some poor soul with 300 damage right as they round the corner gives you a dopamine hit that all video games rely on to keep you playing, and most people don't give a shit if the other person didn't appreciate dying for no reason. I got a kill, that guy sucks, get owned, idiot. But at what cost does your selfish quest for more free kills come with? I mean, there is an obvious imbalance of enjoyment happening here. Let's compare the hypothetical amount of positive feedback the random crit pitcher gets to the hypothetical amount of negative feedback the random crit catcher gets. Now, if you were to calculate the amount of enjoyment the average person gets from killing someone unfairly with a random crit compared to the amount of frustration the average person feels when getting killed unfairly by a random crit, then factor in the situational advantages that come from winning a fight that you weren't supposed to win compared to the situational disadvantages that come from dying in a situation where you shouldn't have died, along with the respective amount of pleasure and frustration that comes along with that, you can conclude that positive experiences will almost always be less memorable and cause less of an effect on the human psyche than negative experiences will, which is commonly called a negativity bias. I'm sure you've seen people bring up the negativity bias when talking about random crits, and it's definitely worth mentioning, but because measuring the feelings of players is never going to be reliable, I don't consider the negativity bias to be the end-all be-all magic bullet for killing off random crits once and for all. In fact, I'm getting this negativity bias thing out of the way early on because I don't plan on bringing up points that have their entire basis in feelings, opinions, emotions, love, hate, or the human condition. This video is going to be 100% science from here on out. God damn it. Well, like 99% science.
Random crits break stalemates.
Back in the ancient era of 2007 AD, there were 6 maps in TF2. There was no such thing as unlockable weapons. There was no Kritzkrieg, there was no direct hit, there was no air blast. You couldn't even pick up your buildings as engineer until 2010. It was certainly a different time, but I don't know. I didn't start playing TF2 until 2012, long after they added in years worth of additional content. I don't know what it was like back then, but I can assume that maybe because there wasn't a whole lot of playstyle variety due to there being no such thing as loadouts, maybe because the only maps in the game included 2, 4, and Dust Bowl, maybe because stalemates might have been a natural side effect of a groundbreaking original concept being introduced to a gaming audience that wasn't accustomed to casual class-based team shooters requiring a decent amount of teamwork and communication. Maybe because of all that, random crits might have been a good call in the early stages of TF2. And who knows, maybe if the game launched, never got an update ever again, and remained in its original state up until now, we might not even be having this conversation. But in reality, we have this, a chaotic clusterfuck of 9 different classes with thousands of different weapon combinations, all with varying degrees of strengths and weaknesses, all clashing together in servers populated with people sporting varying degrees of skill. Ever since TF2 launched over a decade ago, the game has become a completely different experience entirely. It's practically unrecognizable, and I can confidently attribute the increasingly slow but steady content updates and balance changes to the continued success of TF2. Without the constant adaptations that have changed the game for the better up until now, TF2 would have been dead long ago. And I believe that random crits are a mechanic that remain in TF2 as a relic of the past. Over time, the game has evolved to address the issues of stalemates, maps have gotten much better in the tight choke point department, and people in general have gotten way better at TF2. Some gamers putting thousands upon thousands of hours into practicing the art of pushing through a choke point. We don't need handicaps to prop up the original faults of the gameplay that happened to be the standard over a decade ago. We simply don't need random crits anymore. The game is now entirely random all on its own, and even better, it now achieves that feeling of randomness without a need for random crits, which is actually a major part of the answer to the following argument.
Random crits make casual TF2 more casual and silly.
This is a very common argument, and I personally get a little offended on the game's behalf when I hear it because I don't think it gives the brilliance of TF2's comedic value very much credit at all. The silliness, the goofy and casual nature of Pub TF2 can be very easily attributed to many things that have nothing to do with the game mechanics, such as the characters, the way you can interact with your teammates and enemies alike, and the ridiculous concepts for weapons, game modes, maps, cosmetics, and of course, ragdolls. Hello and welcome back to
Okay.